When your colleagues call you the best driver they raced against, then that means you're something special. Only fate stood between Ronnie Peterson and glory. The Swede was born in 1944 and made his F1 debut in 1970 with March. The first is a year of transition, and the team is not competitive. The following season, however, his talent emerged when he joined the factory team. He collected 4 second places in Monaco, Silverstone, Monza and Canada, immediately finishing as vice world champion for 1971 behind Jackie Stewart. March, however, in all his history only won 3 races, and certainly was not the car to aim for the title, and Ronnie is only 9th the following year, with a podium to his credit. Peterson, however, stood out, and captured the attention of Colin Chapman, signing for Lotus in 1973 alongside reigning champion Emerson Fittipaldi. Peterson is very fast, probably faster than future champion Jackie Stewart and Fittipaldi himself, so much so that during the season he scored 9 pole positions in 15 races. The real problem is reliability, because the points in the first 5 races will be 0, despite 3 pole positions, and so Fittipaldi is first with 35 points, Stewart second with 25, and Peterson is last. After these 5 races, however, Fittipaldi will no longer win, while Ronnie, despite 3 retirements due to mechanical problems, scores 7 podiums and wins 4 times. There will be no shortage of bad luck still. In Sweden, the home GP, Ronnie is first from pole all throughout the race, except for the last 2 laps due to deflating tyre. In Holland, he will lead 63 out of 72 laps, but problems once again come by. He will recover 34 points to Fittipaldi, and the final standings will see Stewart at 71, with the Lotuses as 55 and 52 respectively. To give an idea, Fittipaldi leads 120 laps across the season, Stewart 214, Peterson 393, but that still wasn't enough. The new Lotus 76 will be an absolute disaster, and in 1974 Ronnie will drive the whole car, the Lotus 72. For Peterson there will be another victory at Monza, a truck that will mark his destiny, and 2 other successes that will make him finish 5th. But always a lot of mechanical retirements. Most people claim them to be impossible victories, but his old teammate, who passed to McLaren, will be world champion. See why fate keeps being a tough client. In 1975, the team fielded the Lotus 72 for the 6th year running, and the season is a total failure. Then Peterson returned to March, which in the meantime had not been very successful. The only prolific race is an isolated win, again in Monza, for the 3rd time in his career. The 1976 fiasco will push him towards Tyrrell, in the famous 6-wheelers car. So many problems and even many accidents will limit his results again, and then Ronnie stuns everyone. In 1978, he returns to Lotus. Colin Chapman, however, didn't forget his departure in 1976, and so the contract clearly states that he will be Andretti's second. Ronnie can only win if his teammate is not in the position to do so. At first, Mario Andretti turns up his nose. Peterson is definitely not a number 2. Although Peterson was a strong friend of his, he was scared the Swede could get the title he worked so hard for off his hands. But F1 was very different from what it is today, and Peterson is a good character. He makes himself available to the team, and the two will dominate the year with the Lotus 79. The start will be a bit troubled. Peterson retires from Pearl in Brazil due to an accident. He will win in South Africa, but he also has to retire in Monaco due to mechanical problems. Peterson was undoubtedly the faster of the two, but Andretti had the extraordinary ability to know how to set up the car to bring it maximum level, and was able to express all its potential. The Lotus 79 debuts in Belgium, even if only for Andretti on this occasion. At that moment, Andretti is third with 18 points, Peterson fifth with 14, and the two will continue to go hand to hand, but always in the order stipulated in the contract. 2-1-2s arrive immediately, Then there is another one in France, when Peterson would follow Andretti to the finish line, arriving on his tail, but never trying to overtake. At Brands Hatch, all of Peterson's class emerges. The team reserves all the soft tires to Andretti. Then, Peterson snatches pole with the hard tires, but both were out with mechanical problems. At Hockenheim, Andretti wins after Peterson breaks down. Then Peterson makes up for it in Austria from pole after an accident by Andretti. With 4 races to go, the gap between the two is only 9 points, virtually a victory. Peterson already knows that he will move to McLaren the following year, because the relationship with Chapman, who had favoured him in 1973, is not idyllic, and the Swede wants to be the first driver. People suggest he aim for the championship. You have nothing to lose, Ronnie. But he is a man of word, and he doesn't want to break the deal with the team, swearing loyalty to the end. Why should I forget about the agreement now? My eyes were open when I signed, and I gave my word. The race after, Peterson does so. Andretti is leading the race, but he's hugely struggling. Peterson then repeatedly came alongside his teammate before turn 1, but never tried to overtake. They will come to the finish line separated by 3 tenths, with Peterson following close behind, and, until the end of his life, he will prove himself to be a good man. 2 weeks later, he's racing in Monza. Peterson takes 2nd place in the morning qualifying, but breaks the engine and has to use the spare car, an old Lotus 78, since the 79 is set for Andretti. He starts 5th, and at the start, the traffic lights go out too early. The drivers behind are already moving, and the 4 get off very quickly. Peterson is sucked in. In the melee, many drivers touch each other and end up against the barriers. The Lotus 78, unlike the 79, has the fuel tanks on the sides, and the car immediately catches fire. Peterson is taken out quickly, and thus the burns are limited. He didn't inhale dangerous gases, even if the injuries to the leg are severe. Ronnie arrives to the hospital conscious, and his life does not appear to be in danger. Peterson has 27 leg fractures still, and is immediately sent to intensive care. The next morning, however, an embolism caused by the fractures lead to Ronnie tragically losing his life. Many doctors sharply criticize the methods used to treat Ronnie in the hospital. Colin Chapman would say of him that when he was low, it was surely the car's fault if Ronnie was driving. One capable of taking every car to the limit.